And back tonight is a remarkable friend of ours and a friend of yours. His name is William Tompkins. And there's something going on with respect to the military, private operations, hidden operations, ultra top secret operations. It's almost invariably the Navy, the U.S. Navy in outer space. It's here. The U.S. Navy is everywhere. And they're listening to people like Bill Tompkins, who's one of a kind. Tell us what's really happening. At least give us information that we can think about and process and come up with our own decisions. We know one thing unequivocally, and that's that the government and the military will always lie to us. That's just the nature of the beast. They will not share.
We need to address it. We need to try to relate to it.
Sure. Go to it.
This universe is a very, very big place to be. Okay?
Yeah.
As many as 200 billion galaxies exist out there. We didn't talk about planetary systems like the solar system.
Now, these are galaxies like the Milky Way. These are galaxies, 200 billion, at least.
At least 200 billion. And then we have billions of stars in our own galaxy, the Milky Way. Oh my gosh. And so for us to take this approach, which unfortunately we've been lied to, like you said, that there's no other people out there in the universe but us, it's kind of naive.
It's ridiculous is what it is. It's absolutely absurd to even say something as dumb as that. Good Lord.
200 billion galaxies, all with over billions of stars. My gosh. And these stars, most of these stars have planets.
Yeah.
Like the little solar system that we have.
Right.
Some of them have two stars. Some even have 3 stars. That would be a hard place to live. You wouldn't
Really?
know whether
3?
it's day or night.
3 suns.
Yeah.
How wild would that be? A binary would be tough enough, but 3? Yeah. Wow.
Wild. But just to think that we're part of this situation and that people have been cruising, certainly not just the Milky Way galaxy, all of these other galaxies for probably billions of years. And so we're just touching the tip of the iceberg when we're talking about this subject. And
Yes.
I think people should write that number down and every once in a while just look at it and stop and think of what we're now visualizing. We can go out into the desert or we can go out of town and just on a nice clear night look up at the sky. There's hundreds of thousands of stars that we can see. Oh my gosh, it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Even astronomy is fantastic. Our position in this is unbelievably more important than maybe we think. But we are just now learning what's going on. And I think that the more we can discuss this whole subject, the better we all are going to be. And sort of tonight, I don't know what you folks were going to say, but I would sort of like to talk about the galaxy itself. And
Oh, that's fine.
a little bit about where we are in it. And essentially, the situation of, say, hypothetical cases where you will accept that other people are out there in the galaxy, they're cruising the galaxy. Some of them are just grandchildren with grandma and grandpa in a cruise ship, a cruise galaxy ship, cruising the galaxy, having a ball. Others are coming here, they take a look at us, they don't pay much attention, and they go on to the rest of their cruise.
So it's tourism exists on the basis that you're describing it. I've often poked fun at that knowledge that people coming here as tourists would see quite a show on this planet.
You're right, really. And I think maybe when they could just look at how we don't necessarily get along with each other, they could be laughing all the way to the next part of the galaxy.
I agree with you.
Yeah, this could be fun. And
How many galaxies again? Now, keep in mind when you look up at the Milky Way, friends, and it stretches from horizon to horizon, a band of these bright, concentrated dots of light. That's our little, relatively speaking, galaxy. It's an enormous place, this galaxy. How many galaxies, tell them again, that we know about or can project are out there in the known universe?
We have over 200 billion galaxies, all of them with billions of stars. And I think this is really important to address.
Yeah. Yeah.
To get ourselves out of this everyday thing that we're forced into and stop and think that we now have this opportunity, for instance, to join with other Nordic people and go out into the galaxy with them. Not all that stuff about the wars going on and all the bad side of it, but stop and think of our opportunities. We're just around the corner. We will be able to cruise ships out in the galaxy ourselves. I just think that invigorating.
In our Milky Way galaxy, wouldn't that be wonderful to be able to take a cruise through the Milky Way? Wow. And that's probably being done, as Bill is saying, by other intelligent forms of life in this galaxy right now. Would explain certainly some of the enormous craft that we've seen in our atmosphere down near ground level. Enormous craft, huge craft. And think of the Phoenix Lights. These craft are over a mile wide, some of them. Just enormous. And they could be cruise ships, for all we know. It's true. And it is an amazing thing to contemplate. We're kept, Bill, in such a little thimble, a little mental prison by the controllers of this planet. We have a birthright to know about what you've just mentioned. We have a birthright to think about the absolute enormity of 200 billion galaxies, each with billions of stars like our own sun. We don't think about that. We're not talked to about that. We're not told about that. We're not encouraged to ponder that. We're encouraged to feel subservient, trapped in debt, and under great stress all the time in this little microcosm we call planet Earth.
Beautiful. Well put. Really, it's astounding. And actually, what we're going into, instead of being negative, it's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to enjoy what takes place.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to sign up right now.
Well, Bill, if you don't know, Bill Tompkins is 93, proving once again what I have always said. It's just a number. If you take care of yourself, if you eat right, and perhaps have the kind of connections that Bill has, there's no reason we can't live far longer than the average person. I saw something today, someone died, someone of note, 52 years of age, some TV actor. Come on, that's being robbed, cheated. We should go 80, 90 easily and be in full control of our faculties. And you said this could be so much fun. I'm going to put a sign out on my lawn. I'm ready. Land here. Whatever. There are a lot of people listening who are probably saying much the same thing. It would be wonderful to get off this place. The change in our perspective and our hopes and dreams would be instantaneous. And a lot of people, contactees, abductees, have had that experience, for better or worse. And there are people out there listening right now who know the truth. It's like having, which I did, I call it an after-death experience. When you realize that there is no death, when you get off this planet and realize that there is life everywhere. It's an instantaneous change that you can never retreat from. Go ahead, Bill.
Well, I agree with you 100%, really. And the fact that we're in this learning curve, which is right now going straight up across the charts, we're being exposed to reality. We're being we're learning what we should have learned in the university and in the schools, but it wasn't taught because these people were controlling us and giving us a difficult time. I think that trying to, like you're saying, try to get out of this atmosphere and into the positive sides. There's a lot of really wonderful things taking place, and sort of trying to put this thing together. When we talk about the galaxies and we talk about the numbers of people or different civilizations that could be out there, actually we need to look at our opportunities and the situation with certain extraterrestrials who are assisting us. And I hate to go back to just a couple of three people back at Douglas on the Apollo program, but I have to sort of address that because these three people that were helping us were Nordic people, essentially our cousins, if you want the truth. And they come from a different part of the arm of the Milky Way galaxy that we're all in. And incidentally, we're way out in the boonies. I mean, our location in this particular Milky Way galaxy, we're like out on the tip of one of the arms of the galaxy.
Yeah.
We're not downtown where all the action is. And so, come on, I mean, and so the opportunities are tremendous. And so to address these three Nordic people whose thrust was nothing negative for nearly 4 years. They wanted us to be successful on the Apollo program. And when we talk about the Apollo program, I don't like to repeat things, but I think it's something that's important.
Fine. That's fine to repeat.
Just going to the moon was not the Apollo program. The Apollo program, phase 1, was to build a 10,000-man naval research and operating base on the moon, only it was inside because we were going to build it underground. That was phase 1. Phase 2 of the Apollo was to build naval stations on every habitable planet in the solar system or their moons. Okay? Phase 3 was to do exactly the same thing on the 12 closest stars. We just explained the real Apollo mission. So when we're trying to put together requirements for the vehicle or for the launch vehicle or for the mission, we're not just addressing getting there. We're addressing all the things that we need to do because these are stepping stones for phase 2 and phase 3.
Okay.
So we got shot down. Go ahead.
A question for our, so hold that thought, when we got shot down. A question for our listeners. I think what you're clearly putting on the table is the simple fact that the NASA Apollo program, as it was presented and marketed to the public, was essentially a diversion. The real program was on a second track, completely hidden. The shuttle program was a diversion. The tragedies were not planned, but they happened. This is a real interesting field for all of you who are perhaps new to Bill Tompkins. There is a whole other aspect of man in space that we have never been told about, that Bill is telling us about and sharing with us. And that's important to keep in mind. What you're fed in terms of normal information from the government and the military often bears little resemblance, if no resemblance, to reality. Go ahead, Bill. You said when we got shot down, what did you mean?
Okay, what I meant was when the Draco reptilian people who were already there essentially told us, go ahead and finish 3 or 4 more of your missions and don't come back.
On the moon.
Okay? On the moon. Now, let's back off a little bit on that part. That's not your moon. Wait a minute. Everybody says it's their moon. It's not even a moon. It's a space vehicle which is parked. They had a great big pickup truck. They went out there and pulled this thing that we call a moon back into the solar system, and then they pointed it at us. Now stop and think that really the moon doesn't rotate.
No, it's bizarre. It's just absolutely fixed in its position to Earth, and it shouldn't.
Everything else in the universe rotates, except this is a command center for a number of different extraterrestrial civilization people. And it's not just the reptilian space. It's probably 30 or 40 different types of extraterrestrial who are operating in that particular, what we call planet. It's just a vehicle which has been parked there. And it's controlling this region of the tip of this arm of the Milky Way galaxy. And so when you look at your moon, which is not yours, and then you stop and think that, wait a minute, maybe this is not your planet either, because a whole bunch of people are out there using this planet as a laboratory. So in the Apollo program, those 2 wonderful young ladies and that healthy-looking Nordic guy who helped us on the Apollo program to make it successful for nearly 3.5 years. I think that all of the discussion for those periods of time when these 3 people never made one negative comment, everything was plus. Everything was for accomplishment, developing it, methods. And yes, they are very smart people. They come from a different part of the Milky Way galaxy. They were here to help us, join them out in the galaxy, and help us fix our own planet. These were the missions. These were what these people were doing. And there wasn't one single time in the entire time that there was anything negative. Everything was plus. And to realize that you have these 3 people, even though most of engineering did not accept they were extraterrestrial, and it was a big joke, they really were. And they really did accomplish the basic problem areas on the program. Yes, they would, in the meetings, they would suggest to me telepathically, they're not in the meeting. We got 10 or 12 of us fighting over some item. She slips that answer into my head. I come up with it, and it's the answer or the fix for that part of the Apollo program. Oh, come on here. Even when my assistant, section chief, and I are on the Douglas DC-7s flying down to the Cape, where we've got these facilities being built for the Apollo launches.
Yeah.
And we're flying there asking ourselves, gee whiz, are we, like my assistant said to me, Bill, is this safe? And I said, what do you mean is this safe? How both of us be going down there? I mean, holy cow, she can do anything back there. She could sell a program to our, to Boeing, our competition. She could sell it to the Russians. Really, I think I should go back.
Now, who is this? Who is this? Your assistant?
Yeah, my assistant section chief.
Okay.
And he's a real sweet guy.
Yeah.
And
And he got worried that the Nordic
we
woman.
leave at the same time.
That's funny.